When you sit in a pitch-black theater and watch a movie, your body does strange things. Your heart rate spikes, your breathing turns shallow, your muscles tense up, and your tear ducts activate. Your logical brain is entirely aware that you are staring at a flat screen. You know the blood is corn syrup, the buildings are plywood, and the people on screen are just actors reciting lines they memorized over morning coffee. So if your conscious mind knows the danger isn't real, why is your nervous system reacting as if you're experiencing actual trauma or genuine joy? The dialogue and the plot aren't enough to trigger those involuntary reflexes on their own. There is a hidden mechanical layer of communication overriding your logic entirely. To see how this works, we can perform a sort of cinematic autopsy. Imagine taking the most emotionally devastating movie scene you can think of and stripping away every single technical tool the director used to make it. The camera is shoved back into the corner for a static wide shot. The lighting is completely flat. We mute the musical score entirely. Even if the actors deliver the exact same tearful dialogue with the exact same performances, the scene suddenly feels clinical. The emotional weight evaporates. A raw script relies entirely on psychological levers of cinematic technique to force you to feel. The machinery behind the lens is what actually generates the emotion. The most immediate lever a director pulls is the optical choice of the camera lens and its physical distance from the subject. When a subject is captured in a wide shot from across a room, you are positioned as an objective observer. You are watching an event safely happen over there. This diagram shows a wide field of view collapsing down into a targeted telephoto close-up. When a director fills your field of vision with a human face, your biological mirror neurons fire, forcing you to adopt their emotional state. Then there's movement. A slow, almost imperceptible camera push directly toward a subject generates a creeping, inescapable sense of rising dread. Every lens choice dictates how physically and emotionally intimate you are to be with the subject, regardless of what is happening in the room. Once the spatial geometry is set, we move to the temporal manipulation of the edit. An editor can engineer tension simply by withholding a cut. Letting a shot linger for 3 to 5 seconds longer than what feels natural builds an unbearable psychological pressure. You start waiting for the release. This timeline visualizes the opposite effect. Long, sustained holds break into a barrage of rapid-fire cuts. This visual fragmentation induces panic. Biologically, your heartbeat will naturally attempt to synchronize with the rhythm on screen. The editor acts as a human chronometer, using the cut to hack the audience's biological clock. All this brings us to the most potent tool in the arsenal, working beneath the threshold of your conscious visual attention, the sound design. When a mixer drops the ambient room tone and isolates a single subjective sound, like ragged breathing or a ticking clock, they trap you inside a character's mind. Then the composer introduces a minor key chord progression or slides in a low sub-bass frequency. These acoustic structures bypass cognitive logic to directly stimulate the fear centers of your brain. The visual edit tells your brain where to look, but the audio track instructs your brain exactly how to feel about what it's seeing. Now reassemble our autopsy. Put the creeping telephoto lens back. Hold the edit for an agonizing 5 extra seconds. Drop the room tone and roll the minor key cellos. That profound surge of emotion you feel in the climax of a film is the result of this precise mathematical alignment of technical variables. Directors and editors are operating a highly calibrated empathy machine. Some worry that understanding these mechanics ruins the experience of watching a film, but seeing the inner workings doesn't diminish the art. It turns passive consumption into an active appreciation of a masterful craft. The next time you find yourself tearing up in a dark theater, take a fraction of a second to look past the actors. Notice the lighting, the cut, and the cellos doing the heavy lifting.